All right, welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Now, look, when it comes to religion, it can sometimes be like politics, man. It can get very, very tricky. Uh, we're back on the Truth Is channel. Justin Bieber was just warned he's in a cult and needs to escape. This reminds me of those TikTok dancers. Uh, I live by a lot of churches that are rumored to be like a cult, you know. I grew up, my church was in Compton, and it got crazy in there too. But these be like, hey, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Celebrity Hollywood megachurches are nothing new. For decades, churches have set up shop in the center of Hollywood to preach to the mega rich and famous. The only problem is, more often than not, these churches get exposed for seeming more like cults than actual churches. Recently, there has been a new church taken over Hollywood called Church Home, with high-profile members like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Ciara, the Kardashians, and so many others. It has become one of the most popular churches for the rich and famous. But just like everything,
I know, you know, the whole thing, come as you are, come one, come all. But like, I got a friend that always make jokes saying like, people be going to the club Saturday night and then get up to go to church on Sunday morning, coming to church with hangovers and stuff like that. I'm just like, a lot of these people, these celebrities that they mentioned, especially like the Kardashians, man, it's like some of the math don't be mathing, you know, as far as what a lot of them are known for versus them going like to church and stuff. Just saying.
else in Hollywood, it seems like Church Home is acting as a church when in reality, it's actually just another cult. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be exposing Church Home. Let's get right into it. According to Google, a cult refers to a social group characterized by extreme devotion to a person, object, or belief system, often involving manipulative practices and isolation from the outside world. These groups are typically led by a charismatic figure who orders the group's beliefs, behavior, and customs, and they often have unusual or socially deviant practices. You will see that Church Home seems to fit this description rather well, as Church Home seems to control its celebrity members, use their power to cover up horrible allegations made against them, and also use their church to enrich themselves, bringing in...
Wait, what did that just say?
As Church Home seems to control its celebrity members, use their power to cover up horrible allegations made against them, and also use their church to enrich themselves, bringing in tens of millions of dollars yearly, with most of that money likely ending in the pockets of the church leaders. For those who don't know Church Home, it is a Hollywood megachurch started by Judah Smith. Church Home is in a way a branch of Hillsong Church, which was another Hollywood megachurch that has been accused of being a cult as well. Hillsong was one of the biggest churches in Hollywood a few years back. That was until the head pastor, Stephen Lentz, was accused of engaging in inappropriate behavior with a woman, and then the church was hit with a bunch of other scandals. It appears that Judah left Hillsong sometime after this and created his own church called Church Home, but he was still paying Hillside Church $100,000 a year to be affiliated with the church.
Damn.
Up until the scandal. It seems like Judah managed to hijack the members from Hillsong as they all started attending his church. Many big-name celebrities call Church Home their church now, like NFL quarterback Russell Wilson, his wife Ciara, singer Lana Del Rey, Selena Gomez, and even members of the Kardashian are all a part of this church. They all show up to see the exciting Judah Smith preach the good word. Judah is like many other charismatic pastors who seem to preach some rather questionable things. For example, he called the act of someone playing with themselves as a gift from God, which honestly couldn't be more wrong.
Engage someone and start crossing lines that only hurt you but hurt others. And so I know for Chelsea and I, it may not be popular. I know Dr. Dobson and there are many other teachers out there that teach different things, but we've definitely landed on this topic, that it can be very much a productive tool. And I'll just be very candid. When I'm traveling away from Chelsea, when I can fantasize about Chelsea and use masturbation as a gift to keep myself focused and not caught up.
One thing I noticed while looking into Judah is that he seems to have a fascination with.
You know, I am a believer that church can be anywhere. You don't actually have to go into a physical church to feel like you need to belong or have this belief. I feel like they're all corrupted too, just like with politics. You know, you can be going to church for years and then it'll come out that the pastor was doing this or doing that, taking money. It's so many stories that will keep me away from going to a physical church. I don't trust none of them, just to be honest with you.
Often bringing it up and talking about it obsessively in his church.
You guys always nervous laugh. It's the same every week. Make that joke. Oh, God, I wish. Matthew 6 and verse 19. Did I say 6 or sex? All right. Here we go. Was that last? Were you speaking here or was it Kirkland? It was in Seattle. Chelsea said, turn to verse 36. And she goes, oh my gosh. And from the front row, I go, thank you, God. Yeah, it's on her mind. That's where it all starts.
Like
so Matthew 6, verse 19. You can get something out of this message. Here we go. Jesus.
It seems like Judah has a different understanding of what the Bible teaches about this. Not surprisingly, Judah's church has had allegations made against its leadership by several employees. For example, back in 2019, Church Home fired a pastor named Braylon Oliver after an ex-girlfriend of his accused him of SA. Eventually, Church Home did an investigation into the accusations, and they even determined that the accusations were credible. Yet, not long after firing Braylon, Church Home rehired him like nothing even happened, knowingly hiring a man accused of R-wording a woman, allegations that even they confirmed were true. It was also reported that Braylon was also caught allegedly messaging underage girls. He was even allegedly caught with an underage girl at his home drinking with her. In a strange turn of events, Church Home fired him and then rehired him, making him the youth pastor, putting him around children. That is pretty disturbing when you think about it. Why would this church hire a PDF file to not only be a pastor, but a youth pastor? This wasn't the only SA allegation they were dealing with, as another woman claimed she was SA'd by an intern a part of Church Home. This man was Zachary Jaquif, who was connected to an important member of the church. This accuser claimed that she was hanging out with Zachary when they began drinking. She claims that after taking a drink, she passed out and woke up in her car with her pants unbuttoned. She believed that she was sedated and R-worded by Zach. After the church looked into it, they suspended Zach for 2 semesters and let him continue attending campus, with the woman never getting the justice he deserves. Another woman had claimed to witness a head pastor essaying a woman in front of her as well. Instead of Church Home firing the pastor, they kicked the woman instead, claiming she had been consuming alcohol, which is not allowed. Now, it hasn't only been SA lawsuits either, as another woman...
They just said consuming alcohol, which is not allowed, but y'all... Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you're a celebrity, or hell, just anybody, aren't you going to do some type of research before you involve yourself with this church? Because a lot of them be donating money. Like, you want to be donating money to a church that has all these allegations or whatever. That's just wild to me. But this is the world that we're living in, man. It's like people going to this church because it's trendy. Yeah, I go to that church too. It's crazy.
Sued the church after she was fired because she couldn't give money to the church. The church required all their employees to give 10% back to the church in tithe. The woman who sued claimed she couldn't afford to tithe because she had just been in a car accident and was paying for her medical expenses and damages. She was then fired, showing that the church leaders could care less about their employees. Instead of helping them in a moment of need, They instead kicked her when she was down, forcing the woman to sue the church.
Behind me here in Kirkland, Church Home is being sued by an employee who alleges she was threatened with termination when she couldn't afford to donate or tithe to the church.
You know, she's David and this is the big giant Goliath.
Mega church, mega building with two largely known personalities at the helm, Pastor Judah Smith and his wife Chelsea, and well-known members like Russell Wilson in these pictures praying with Smith and on the church's board. But it's Smith who's at the center of a lawsuit.
God loves a cheerful giver, but now you're like taking out the cheerful part of it. And I'm now becoming like a fearful giver. I'm giving because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job.
Rachel Kellogg, a video editor at Church Home, stopped tithing after suffering financial hardships and alleges she was called up by her superior.
In order for you to be on the team here at Church Home, you need to give 10%. You need to tithe. And that's really when it hit me and was just like, wow.
Tithing, the age-old practice of donating money to a church, is usually voluntary. Kellogg alleges the practice wasn't included in the job posting. Also in the suit, screenshots of messages like this between an alleged manager. One shows him saying, "It is expected if you're on the team that you tithe, and if not, it does sound like that would lead to being removed from staff." Church Home responded to King 5 saying, quote, "The First Amendment protects a church's right to restrict employment to those employees who choose to abide by church teaching." That's something Kellogg's lawyer says is irrelevant.
We don't think that this is a First Amendment issue.
Rather, it's Washington state law he alleges they're breaking.
It's called the Wage Rebate Act, and it essentially says that it's unlawful for an employer to collect or receive a rebate of wages.
Church Home told King 5 they plan to vigorously defend the rights of all religious institutions to live, teach, and model their faith through their employees.
What I'm here for is just holding them accountable for what they are not supposed to be doing, but are getting away with.
Marshall says he's working on making this a class action lawsuit.
Now, considering all the celebrity members, you can easily guess this church was going to be more luxurious than your average church. Considering they made about $20 million in just 1 year,
Damn.
Luxurious is an understatement. As it seems, Church Home seems to be heavily focused on making money and not really spreading the word of God. Now, the church is obviously really big on tithing, as they are clearly all about making that untaxable income. The church actually requires all their members to give money as well, as it's even stated that they go over the financial details of their biggest members to make sure they're tithing sufficiently. It's not surprising that a Hollywood church is being accused of being a money-hungry cult, as it's a church that's just there to allow celebrities to pretend like they're religious. Lana Del Rey is one of the members of this church, but she has openly admitted to being a witch. Somehow, she still wants people to believe she's a Christian who attends church. They also somehow want us to believe the Kardashians attend church. These people don't worship God, they worship themselves. Yet they want us to believe that they're members of this church. This is all a giant scam. This is all just PR. As they know, it's a good look if they're all photographed going to church. This church is all about catering to celebrities. They even provide them with a VIP section like it's a nightclub, literally roping off the other members from the celebrities. The church is clearly using celebrity members to bring in more regular members who are gonna give their hard-earned money to the church. One of the closest celebrities to the church has to be Justin Bieber. Justin was one of the many celebrities who was a part of Hillsong Church but left the church after the controversy. He ended up joining Church Home as Justin had been close friends with Judah for many years. Now Judah acts as Justin's spiritual advisor, and Justin often shows up to his church services and even performs for him. Justin and Judah even have a song on his recent album together. Now, if you have been witnessing Justin's recent behavior, you wouldn't have even guessed he's attending the church,
Right.
as Justin has been appearing more lost than ever before. It doesn't seem like this church is doing him any good. This is exactly what an ex-member of the church and
That's huge right there that he brought that point up. Because Justin was, he deleted or got rid of all these people who were extremely close in his life. I guess this guy wasn't one of them. But yeah, if you see all the videos of him kind of like just looking, y'all seen the videos, and knowing that he's going to this church, like, I don't know, man, but they don't even look like church, to be honest. Now, again, I grew up going to a lot of black churches. And when I say that, when you look around, that's the only color you see. But um, just look, that looked like a damn football stadium, looked like a concert, looked like he was doing stand-up comedy. I don't get church vibes from these clips I'm seeing at all.
Close friend of Justin recently revealed. Ryan Good was Justin's best man at his wedding. He was also a member of Church Home before leaving, which caused him and Justin to stop being friends. Ryan has recently come out speaking out against the church, calling it a cult and telling Justin to be careful. He claimed that the church had too much control over Justin, claiming Judah was in his ear. It's crazy to see that Justin's own friend is calling out Judah for having too much control over Justin. Now, not that long ago, Church Home was involved in another scandal, as one of the members of part of the board of directors, Lou Taylor, was linked back to Diddy's Rico criminal empire. Lou Taylor is a known music business manager. Lou Taylor owns a company called Tri-State. She is also the same woman who worked for Britney Spears and put her under a conservatorship, making Britney Spears a slave to her record label and her father. A few years back, Diddy's accuser Little Rod named Lou Taylor's company in his lawsuit against Diddy, claiming Tri-State would administer payments made for Diddy's illegal activities. This led to Church Home firing her to try and separate themselves from the Diddy controversy. But just think about that. They had a woman that was associated with the Diddy freak-offs running the church. It's clear this isn't a church, but a cult milking their members for millions of dollars yearly. While I see nothing wrong with tithing, I do see something wrong with the church forcing those who don't have it to give it to them so that they can live a luxurious life. Judah is known to dress in designer clothes worth thousands of dollars, yet there's people all over the world starving. I wonder how he's able to afford all of that. Is it the church paying for all those luxurious items? Well, I'll say likely so, as Church Home has become a pay-for-play church service. It's truly scary watching how the devil has even managed to infiltrate the church. This is clearly what this is. These people aren't serving God and spreading His word. They're serving themselves. Don't fall for these imposters trying to lead you astray, using celebrities to try to influence you to join their cult. It's disturbing because so many people join these churches expecting to get closer to God, only to be used as a wallet by people that are way more lost than them. Be careful when choosing a church, as nowadays, you might just be joining a cult. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for...
I mean, think about that. He mentioned $20 million. This man's in there talking about, what grown folks do together in the bedroom. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of kids in there. My whole thing is this, man. I feel like people get so brainwashed to the point where there's no return. You got people on the outside who have common sense, who have a sense of reality, and you try to talk to them, but it's going through one ear and out the other. A lot of these people are so knee deep, so far deep in that they can't get out. Like they feel like they're part of something. You look to the left, look to the right, and you see a lot of people that are there, doing the same thing you're doing, and you want to be a part of that. My whole thing is like $20 million. This man wearing all this designer and all that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people in my church, you go, man, that's a nice suit, with the pastors or stuff like that. But look, I think people know. They know. They're just, that's what cults do to you. It brainwash you so much that you just don't care. Like, again, like with those TikTok dancers, But again, when you look at all the videos and stuff and everything Justin is going through, you would think church would be like helping him. He needs to get in the right one, because it's obvious, ain't it? Especially looking at all the connections, when you connect the dots to what they are connected to, and you know, the people that they fired and rehired. Yeah, definitely. Hey, shout out to Truth Is for the video. Appreciate you guys coming over and watching. Please like, share, and comment below. Peace out.